again, it's Scumper John the Cooking Grandpa. Today I'm making a super easy dish, shepherd's pie and a posh pud to follow. Shepherd's pie is my grandson's favourite dish and they say mine is the best they've ever had. But again, they're biased. This is what you need.
I've got 800 grams of lamb, a carrot, an onion, a stick of celery, 2 cloves of garlic, some rosemary and thyme, tomato puree and chicken stock. So you start by heating the pan, adding a tablespoon of olive oil and gently frying the onions, which I've chopped finely. Then you add the carrots and cook for 4 or 5 minutes before adding the celery. Now add the lamb. Here I've pre-cooked the lamb in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius for 35 minutes. You can cook it here from raw, but I think it tastes better pre-cooked. The red wine goes in if you're using it, and cook until the wine's almost evaporated. Next comes tomato puree, the herbs, and finally the chicken stock. Cook for about 30 minutes till the sauce thickens. For the topping, boiled potatoes, mashed with some butter, hard cheese and cream if you like, and I grate little nutmeg into mine. Some chefs will beat the egg yolk in for colour, but I suggest you experiment and find what you like. I got 1,200 grams of shepherd's pie from this recipe and it cost around £8.60 to make. It produced 3 good 400-gram portions. You can buy ready-made pies like this, but they contain as little as 20% meat, whereas mine contains 50%. Homemade's cheaper. If you thought shepherd's pie was an ancient British dish, you'd be very wrong. Mrs. Beeton, Victorian Delia Smith, used mutton to make an upside-down pie where the mash was on the bottom and the meat on top. Mutton, of course, is a 1 to 3-year-old sheep. Even in the late 1950s, shepherd's pie wasn't found in Constance Spry's famous book of recipes. The nearest she has is mutton pie with a pastry lid. Well, that's the history lesson. And by the way, the cats you see in my video are Burmans. We have no less than 4 of these charming, human-loving animals.
I told you in my last video that I only learned to cook when I became divorced. I had 3 small children who come and stay at weekends, and friends said, "You can't cook, John. They love you, but you can't cook." That's what motivated me to learn to cook. What I didn't tell you was that one of my 3 children died of bone cancer when he was just 19 years old, Hugh. And I got great support from a charity called Young Lives versus Cancer, and I'd love it if you could support them if you like my videos.
A dish which Hugh would have loved is a simplified version of a Raymond Blanc recipe. It's dead easy and will wow your family. Take some brioche loaf or brioche burger buns, toasted or fried in butter, tinned pears, ice cream, a few pistachio nuts, and the only cooking required is caramel sauce, which is very simple. Here's how you do it. You take 100 grams of butter, put it in a saucepan. You take 50 grams of dark muscovado sugar, add to the saucepan. You take 100 grams of light brown sugar. And finally, you add the cream. 100 mils of cream. And you just simply let this heat up. Don't touch it, don't stir it. You can swirl it round a bit, but eventually it will melt. And as it starts to melt, swirl it, and you end up with caramel sauce. And once it's nicely melted, that's it. Use it on the dish and keep the rest in a jam jar in the fridge. It'll last for ages. And so to assemble the dish, you place your brioche on the plate. You put a piece of pear on top like that, neatly. Some caramel sauce. I think some over the pear like that. And a bit more on the plate. Not too much, it's very sweet. Some pistachios to make it look posh. And finally, a quenelle of ice cream. If you like this video, please consider giving to the charity which helps families like mine. It's called Young Lives versus Cancer, and this is how you can find them and find out more. Thank you.